Hi everyone, this is Bonnie from Good Earth Spa, and today I'm going to be making hot process soap with you, and I'm doing a Bastille soap. So what I'm doing is 25.6 ounces of olive oil and 6.4 ounces of coconut oil. This is going to yield a little over 2 pounds, or about 2.5 pounds of soap. So first measure your oils into your crock pot or double boiler and get them all melted down. For the next step, we're going to be mixing lye. Make sure that you have safety goggles and gloves to protect yourself. You need lye to make any kind of soap. One of my favorite places to purchase lye is Essential Depot because they have 99% pure food grade lye. All of the measurements are weighed, so you will need a scale. Now I've pre-measured out 11 ounces of distilled water. Be sure that you use distilled water when you make soap so that your lye doesn't combine with other impurities that are in your water. And I've pre-measured my lye. You add your lye to your water, not your water to your lye, and stir. There will be fumes, so be careful. You should mix your lye in a well-ventilated area. You can even wear a mask if you find that you're more comfortable that way. Continue mixing your lye until it is well dissolved. I'm going to be using 1.5 ounces of fragrance and essential oils. What I'm doing today is pretty much going to be a citrus kind of thing. I have a bunch of samples from different soap supply companies, so I'm going to combine them all up and then add some essential oil to make up the difference. But you pick any scent that you like. Use about 1.5 ounces. Next up, I'm going to measure out 1 ounce of mango butter and set it aside until the end. You can use any butter that you like or any oil that you like. There we go, that is about 1 ounce. And I like to measure my butters like shea butter and cocoa butter and mango butter into these little silicone cups. Wilton makes these and they're microwave safe, so you can melt your skin butters right in this little cup and it's easy to pour it right into your soap. So now I have all of my ingredients pre-measured. My coconut oil has melted down. My lye solution is completely dissolved. Now normally in a cold process soap, I let my lye cool down a little bit, but when I'm making hot process soap, I don't. As long as it's fully dissolved, then I just get started. So the first thing that you would do would be very similar, actually the exact same thing as making a cold process soap, which would be to add your lye solution into your oils and start mixing it up. Give it a little blend, and when it reaches trace, normally you would pour it into the mold. But we're actually going to cook through the gel stage, and then that's where it gets a little bit different. So you want to keep mixing like this until it reaches trace. I'll be back when it does. Right now the soap is at what we would call a trace. If you were making cold processed soap, you would add in your butters and your scents and other additives now, and then you would put it in the mold. But in hot processed soap it's a little bit different because we're going to continue to heat it and stir it until it goes through a gel stage. It also is probably going to boil up. You'll notice that in this pot here, I only have it filled about a quarter full because I expect the soap to rise up and then settle back down again. So continue stirring for as long as you can until the soap gets bubbly, it kind of boils and gets really, really thick. It might be too hard to stir with a stick blender, so you may want to switch to a spoon. Just don't use aluminum for any part of soap making. Aluminum reacts with lye. So I'm going to keep mixing, and I'll make sure to show you the different stages, and we'll go from there. When your soap is at a thick trace like this, like pudding, it might be thicker if you used more hard oils too, but since I'm using extra virgin olive oil, it's taking a little bit longer. But when it's thick like this, you can cover it up, but don't go far. Keep your eye on the soap so that it doesn't boil over. I think nearly every soap maker who endeavors into hot processed soap has had a boiled over batch at least once. So learn from our mistakes and keep an eye on your soap. The soap is starting to boil a little bit around the sides, and it's also gelled around the sides, but the middle has not gone through any gel stage yet. When it goes through gel stage, it's going to look a little bit more transparent and less opaque. Now that my soap has started boiling up a little bit, I'm just going to go ahead and stir it all together until the gel stage is complete and all of it looks like this lumpy jelly kind of stuff. So now you can see that the pot is much more full because it is boiling over. Now when I said be careful, sometimes it boils right on out of the pot. We don't want that. So when it gets to this stage, your soap has fully gone through the gel stage, and now it's just kind of getting all the excess moisture out. It should be mild by now. Now is about the time where you can add in your oils and butters. I'm not going to melt it, but you could. It's hot enough where it's just going to melt itself. And I'm just going to stir it in and wait a little while to be sure that it's stirred in thoroughly. My soap is up at about 200 degrees now. So I'm going to unplug my crock pot and let it cool down just a little bit before I add my scent, just so I don't get any of my oils to flash. I want to be sure that the scent sticks in there, so when I'm making hot processed soap, since it gets so hot, I like to just let it cool down a little bit first. It looks like the mango butter is already fully melted and mixed in. One awesome thing about hot processed soap compared to cold processed soap when you're adding your super fatting oils is that you can be sure they're not saponified, because once the soap goes through its gel stage, it pretty much goes mild and you don't have those lye molecules trying to react with the other oils. So I know that the mango butter is in there and it's unaltered and unchanged, not modified in any way. So it's going to feel really moisturizing and really luxurious. Okay, I am ready to add my scent oils. Now I'm just going to mix these in gently. Ooh, that's strong. And I want to have just a little bit of a pretty swirl. So I'm going to add a little bit of lab color. This is orange sherbet, I think it's called, from Brambleberry. And I'm just going to mix it over in this section of the pot. Just kind of mix it in a little bit so that there's a little bit of a swirl, but I don't want the whole thing colored. Okay, so now all I have to do is put it in the mold and let it cool down.